This video is about of Peregrino Sienes Time, the future chronograph. At the same time, we discuss also about of modern method of unit conversion. Okay. Peregrino Sienes Time, the future chronograph, and modern method of unit conversion. Peregrino Sienes Time, the future chronograph. Okay. So, here's our clock illustration. Peregrino Sienes Time clock illustration. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Peregrino Sienes Time clock had only 10 o'clock. And the one is 10 periseconds or 10 periminutes. The 2 is 20 periseconds or 20 periminutes. The 3 is 30 periseconds or 30 periminutes. The 4 is 40 periseconds or 40 periminutes. The 5 is 50 periseconds or 50 periminutes. And the 6 is 60. The 7 is 70. The 8 is 80. The 9 is 90. And the 10 is 100. And the time is 6:44:17 Peregrino Sienes Time, or 6 peri hours, 44 peri minutes, and 17 peri seconds. In the Peregrino Sienes Time, the future chronograph, you can easily calculate the time manually or by using calculator. Because Peregrino Sienes Time, the future chronograph, is decimalized time and metric time. In the Peregrino Sienes Time, 100 periseconds is 1 periminute, and 100 periminutes is 1 peri-hour. So, 1 periminute contains of 100 periseconds, and 1 peri-hour contains of 100 peri-minutes. And the 1 full day of the Peregrino Sienes Time, 1 full day is 20 peri-hours in the Peregrino Sienes Time. So, time equivalent Peregrino Sienes Time to standard time. 1 peri-hour Peregrino Sienes Time is equal to 1.2 hour standard time. 1 peri-minute Peregrino Sienes Time is equal to 0.72 minute standard time. And 1 perisecond Peregrino Sienes Time is equal to 0.432 second standard time. Then the time zones. Peregrino Sienes Time, the future chronograph time zones. 0 degrees longitude is 10 o'clock noon. Alas 10 ng tanghaling tapat. Alas 10 sa udtong tutok. 180 degrees longitude wide is 10 o'clock midnight. Alas 10 ng hating gabi. Alas 10 sa tungang gabi. And 90 degrees longitude wide is 5 o'clock p.m. And the other side of the time zones, 90 degrees longitude wide is 5 o'clock a.m. So, and now, the modern method of unit conversion. Okay. Kilometer per hour to kilometer per peri-hour, vice versa. No? Modern method of unit conversion. Kilometer per hour to kilometer per peri-hour, vice versa. So, our conversion factor 257 kilometer per hour is equal to 308.4 kilometer per per hour. So our conversion formula to find kilometer per hour is kilometer per hour times 308.4 kilometer per hour over 257 kilometer per hour. And to find kilometer per hour is kilometer per hour times 257 kilometer per hour over 308.4 kilometer per hour. So exercises. 1 kilometer per hour convert to kilometer per hour. So exercises calculation. Okay, kilometer per hour equals kilometer per hour times 308.4 kilometer per hour over 257 kilometer per hour. So down kilometer per hour, 1 kilometer per hour times 308.4 kilometer per hour over 257 kilometer per hour. So kilometer per hour over kilometer per hour. So cancel the kilometer per hour and kilometer per hour remain. So continue. Kilometer per hour equals 308.4 kilometer per hour over 257 equals 1.2 kilometer per hour. So 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 1.2 kilometer per hour. So, and we have now a standard conversion formula. Standard conversion formula, 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 1.2 kilometer per hour. So, our standard conversion formula. To find kilometer per hour is kilometer per hour times 1.2 kilometer per hour over 1 kilometer per hour. And to find kilometer per hour is kilometer per hour times 1 kilometer per hour over 1.2 kilometer per hour. So, that's all, and thank you so much.